Hey, beautiful people. I hope you all are, in fact, magically delicious, blessed, and highly flavored. I know I am. Listen, today is going to be a beautifully ugly day. We are going to be talking to one of my good girlfriends. But listen, you want to meet her, you want to hear about what she has to say. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but before I do, I need to, let you know where we are. I am a queen from beginning to end. I don't need you to lose for me to win. I am that fire, that magic, that bow that commands your soul within. I got money from checks I cash. I got talent, this shit gon' last. I be granted wishes, dear sons and daughters. Tell y'all go hush now, like blue ivy garden. I'm the thing to tell yourself. I'm good for your health, I'm good for your wealth. I'm the thing to tell yourself. I'm your mama, I'm your sister, I'm your auntie, I'm your daughter. I am beauty, show no ugly. Follow me, I'll take you back. I am the light in the night time, giving you life. Yes, I ride for my bloodline. So, today we want to talk about if your home life and your work life can actually coexist. And I'm going to tell you, I believe that it can. And I'm going to tell you why I believe that it can. Because of this awesome human that we're going to be talking to today. Because when I see her in action and I see the amazingness that is her, I'm like, Lord, what I thought could not be done can be done. So today, we're going to be talking to an amazing human by the name of Miss Charissa Jones, AKA BRO. You want to know a little bit about her? Let me introduce you to her before you are really introduced to her. Here she is.
You know who it is?
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yeah. You know who it is?
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Yeah. You know who it is? Need your whole soul, then we're selling it. Yeah. To us, that's nothing. Making you a homeowner, now that's something.
Y'all, tell me that's something. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people and peepettes, Charissa Jones. Hey, bro.
Hello there. How are you?
I am blessed and highly flavored. Bro, what exactly does bro stand for?
All righty. So BRO stands for broker, realtor, and owner.
Broker, realtor, and owner. You're a broker, a realtor, and an owner. That's a big deal.
Yes, I think so.
How long have you been a bro?
I have been a BRO for 3 years.
Okay.
A little over 3 years. I opened up my own real estate company in 2021. 1/1/21, I opened up Realty One here in Augusta, Georgia.
Okay. So, one of the things that a lot of bosses like yourself have a problem with is juggling between home life and work, right? Children, they have spouses, they just want to have an everyday healthy balance of a life, right?
Yes.
You seem to do it well. So just up front, tell me, how do you think you do it and do it so well?
So at the end of the day, what are you passionate about? So, when you talk about passion, I'm passionate about my job. I'm passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about making sure my agents are squared away, that if they need me, I'm there. I'm passionate about, in the realtor realm, I'm passionate about making sure I take care of my clients with the utmost respect, communication. And so I believe that at the end of the day, it's about passion. And also, I'm a passionate mother, wife. And so I just believe that at the end of the day, giving your all to everything that you do, so whatever you set yourself out to do it at the, to the utmost. And so being able to balance is I won't say is easy, but it's something that I believe in. I believe in making sure that nothing goes lacking in any department, whether it be at home, whether it be at work, because I feel like there's so many people that are depending on me. And me personally, I don't like to do anything halfway. I want to give it my all, 110%, whatever it is I do. So I'm very critical over everything that I set my mind and heart into. And so that passion goes a long way for me.
Okay, so I can tell you that as it relates to your level of passion,
Mm.
it surpasses probably anybody that I've ever met, right? Ma'am. And so a lot of people don't know this. So I'm just going to tell this story really quickly. I met you way before I met you, right? So I met you when I worked at a law office for about a good 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran into you a few times within that 15 or 20 minutes.
Yes.
But I remember coming into your office and it changed everything for me. It changed the way that I looked at real estate. And the funny thing is that nobody else was in that office that particular day, but I felt the energy that only you can bring, right?
Right,
It
right.
made me realize that it's everything starts with the head,
Yes, yes,
right? And so you feel a level of energy when the head is right, the energy in that building is always right.
most
And
definitely.
so that's something that only you can bring that other people cannot. And I think that that is magical and that's a blessing. So I really want to get started talking about how we got to where we are,
Mhm.
right?
Yes,
Because again, we're talking about a healthy home work life balance, how we can make it coexist.
yes.
How did you start? Well, I don't even want to talk about how we started in real estate. Where and how did you meet your husband?
Oh gosh. Okay, yes. So I met my husband in high school, actually. Um,
Really?
yes, yes. We met in 11th grade. And so I was the new girl on campus. I had moved to Florida from California. So, they had different, type of clothes. I mean, the outfits were just totally different from California to Florida. And so I stood out like a sore thumb. And so the funny thing is Ernest was actually, there was a girl that was showing me around the school, and Ernest knew her very well. And he was flirting with her while she was showing me around school. And so I didn't know that a couple years later we'd be married.
Right.
Yeah, so we met in high school. And so he thought that I was very unique, just coming from a different place, and my accent and different things like that. So how the new girl is.
Mhm.
She gets so much attention.
Always.
Yeah, so that's how I met him in high school. And literally when we graduated, we got engaged when we graduated from high school. So
So you got engaged when you when you graduated from high school. Did you like move away and then all of a sudden get into real estate? Like how did
yes.
all
Okay, so yeah, so literally, my husband joined the military, and
oh,
so
wow.
yeah, he joined the military right out of high school, and so we PCS with the military several times, and one year we moved to Fort Gordon, and we had young children, just very young couple at that time. And so we decided to buy our first house. And so that experience when buying the first house made me think, you know what, I could do that. I could really do that. And he encouraged me to get my, go to school, get my real estate license, and then call the broker. Oh, not the broker. Yeah, she was a broker at the time. Call the broker that sold me the house for mentorship. And so she decided to, put me under her wings and train me once I got my real estate license. And so my experience was actually a good one. And that's what made me get into the industry. Whereas some people, when I asked them how they got into the real estate industry, they said they had a horrible experience with their realtor. So I had the opposite. I had a great experience with my realtor. And so she is the one who encouraged me and actually trained me and mentored me for 3 years.
So the crazy part about that is that you were actually married with children before you got into real estate. See, I thought that you were in real estate before you had your children.
Oh
So
no. Mm-mm.
now, okay, so walk me through that process because especially starting off in real estate, it's hard to get to have that healthy homework life balance because you're trying to really find yourself in this industry.
Oh yes, most definitely. Yeah. So at that point in time, we were really, like I guess my husband was like a private, or E3 or something. So, we were really young, maybe like 22. And so it was really difficult because I had literally overnight 3 children. Um, it seemed like 3 children at that time that were young. And so I didn't have a whole lot of money. So what I did was I worked as a licensed assistant to the broker. And so she paid me a salary to help her with the administrative duties while I actually sold real estate, during my free time. And so she got a portion of what I made. So it was like a win-win for her and it was a win-win for me because at the end of the day, all I wanted to be able to do was pay childcare and go out and sell houses.
Mhm.
Really, that's all I needed to be able to do. And so she gave me the opportunity that I probably wouldn't have gotten had I been on my own.
What do you feel the biggest challenge was with you being a mom? Like having to be with your children, once you got off, because you never get off as a realtor.
No, not at all. Not at all. So,
Right.
at the end of the day, I had support of my husband. He was a big factor in that. But I just grind really hard until I had to pick them up at 6 o'clock. And I was there at 6 o'clock, the last minute to pick them up because I made sure I got it all in during that time.
That's awesome.
And so once I picked them up, of course I did, the mom thing, made sure that they were squared away. I always had dinner served. I mean, I was one of them parents that, I made sure that food was on the table, that they didn't go lacking. They were in bed, got a bath, so I did all that. And then when they went to bed, there was that grind also afterwards, that you have to do as a real estate agent. It never sleeps. So once I put them to bed, then you had to get online and do research and things like that so that you could prepare yourself for the next day.
I working in the office that we're in now, every once in a while you'll see a new mom coming in with their babies
Yes.
and breastfeeding and doing whatever it is that they have to do to make it in the real estate business, right?
Yes.
And so for a person like yourself, did you ever run into those times where your children would be with you showing houses? Your children they were like honorary real estate agents?
No, I never did that because, first and foremost, they were young at the time. And so when they were younger, no, now as they got older and maybe like teenagers and stuff like that, then, hey, babe, I got to go show a house real quick. You gonna be okay to stay in the car? We would do that. Now that's okay. We would do that, but not when they were young. When they were young, always made, arrangements for them, either my husband or, I had my sister live with me at the time as well. So, and she was in high school. So I would just utilize my support system in the event that I needed to. But for the most part, I made sure that I time blocked and I made sure that I was available for them after 6 o'clock. So,
So let's fast forward to a little bit closer to now,
mhm.
starting your own,
Yes.
because it's hard and let's even take it out of real estate. Let's just talk about business ownership, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to start your own and to still have to maintain the person that you are. How is it? What made you decide, it's time for me to branch out and do just me?
Well, the thing about it is when you say passion, and remember I told you earlier that, I don't like to do anything halfway. I really have high standards. I like things to be done a certain type of way. And after you work for other companies for so long and you see things that could have been done differently, like, oh man, it would have been more efficiently if they would have did X, or, if they would have done Z, then that would have been a lot better. I always felt like there was room for improvement in all the places that I actually hung my license at. So after doing that for so long, I've been in the industry for 24 years this year. I felt like, after 20 years, it was time.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of outgrew working with another brokerage, and so I just felt like, it's time to do that. And then not only that, my husband was very, very instrumental in giving me the confidence to do it and step out on your own. So, not just him, but other agents that were around me that I inspired, they would always say, hey, why don't you open up your own brokerage? Like they saw that in my future.
Mm-hmm.
And so after hearing that so many times, you start believing it. Like, oh my gosh, I really could do that.
But
And
did you not see it before?
it wasn't that I didn't see it. I think that part of it was, did I want to do it?
Okay.
I always felt, like I said, I had the confidence and all that. So I always felt like I could do it, but then it was like, why should I? Or do I really, really want to do that? Do I want to take on that responsibility type thing? But then when you hear everyone saying it and constantly mention it to you, then you start believing it and then start get excited about it. You know what? I actually could do that. And you know what? Look at the sign over here, because I'm big on signs, like confirmations and things like that. So I was getting a lot of confirmations that, hey, this is what you need to do. And so after a while, then it was like no stopping me at that point. It was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I know I could do it. Now I want to do it. You know what I mean? And so there's no turning back at this point.
Right. So you come across as one of those people, like, once I make my mind up, it's going to happen.
Yeah, most definitely. And then I say, how could it not work out? How could it not? I start thinking about that. How could it not? And and just just keep that passion going. And also I just feel like it's good to have a great support system. Like, I couldn't do this by myself. I know you say, oh, Charissa, you're this, you're that. Yeah, but I have an awesome team that helps me as well. And so that's very important too. Don't think that, hey, this is something that you can do by yourself. It's important for you to think about, wherever you're weak, make sure that you have those individuals in your life that can help you, when you're not at your best in certain areas, if that makes sense. So
100%. I actually agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So competition, that is huge in the real estate world. So much so that, people will say things like, I don't want to tell you my secrets because you're going to run with them and do better than what I'm doing, or you're going to do this, you're going to do that. The fact that starting out, you had someone who said, I'm going to take you under my wing, I think it's pretty awesome. Once you started your own, I see personally firsthand that you take people under your wings and say, I'm going to pour into you and help you to grow, right?
Yes.
Taking it one step further, though, I want to hear kind of the dark side of it. Do you feel that and I'm not going to speak about any specific names or companies or anything like that, but do you feel that you've had any type of negative, quote unquote, publicity just because people are in competition with you? Do you think that people have been, trying to maybe say negative things or whatever the case is to kind of get you off your game?
I think, of course, most definitely it has happened, but I think that it's just inevitable. It's just one of those things where, people can be very envious, of things that they really don't even quite understand, or what it appears to look like on the outside or whatever. They're very envious. That's why social media is a dangerous thing, because whatever is portrayed on social media may not be the reality, but at the end of the day, I think that that's people by nature, that whenever it appears that others are doing well and they're not, then a lot of times they have negative things to say. You very rarely have someone who genuinely is happy for you, but I think that that's just the nature of the beast. I mean, that's just that's just what it is. It doesn't have anything to do with me. It just has to do with people. How people react, so and so me knowing that, I just understand that it's par for the course. It comes with the territory. Not to say that some things that I've heard or whatever doesn't feel right, because at the end of the day, I try to make sure that I'm constantly positive, always trying to do the right thing. And so when someone says something that's contrary to that, then I just, it just makes me feel some type of way. But at the end of the day, I can't let it bother me. You just have to keep going forward. And just try to identify those people that genuinely have your best interest at heart, and then also identify the ones that don't, so that you know how to handle them accordingly.
Facts. Okay, so what was the hardest thing and I won't say in all of your 24 years of real estate, but in your last 3 years,
Mhm.
what do you think is your biggest struggle as it relates to you as a boss?
Ooh, the biggest struggle. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Biggest struggle. I think the biggest struggle is making sure that you don't take things personally. That's the biggest struggle because I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't care.
True.
Right? I wouldn't do this if I didn't. I mean, because some people do this because they really want to make a whole lot of money and all this kind of stuff. Like I opened up the brokerage for something way, for to be fulfilled, you know. And so I did it because I wanted to to pour into people. I really wanted to, make sure that I was there. I wanted to help them grow. I wanted to do all this. And so you end up getting your feelings attached. You end up really caring for people and things happen where sometimes people decide, hey, I want to go in a different direction. And you're like, what? Wait a
Hmm.
minute. And so for me, that's the hardest thing right there is that you have that care and consideration and love for people, and you personally just care about them, and then something changes and they decide, hey, I'm gonna go do something else, and you're like, what? So for me, that is being able to um not take things personally and not be affected emotionally by other people's decisions.
But I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think showing that you do have that feeling for those people
Mhm.
would let them. It shows that you're human and shows that you really want people to win. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And if you pour into someone and they just turn around and say, "Thank you so much for pouring into me, goodbye,"
yeah,
you're gonna feel some kind of way. So I think that
yeah. You feel some
that's
type of way
normal,
about
right?
it. Yeah, you do, and then it makes you feel like at the end of the day, how do others feel? I mean, do they have the same consideration for you, or what I mean? So then you start questioning, well, hey, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for this person. Why was it so easy for them to go in a different direction so quickly, right? So yeah, sometimes that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, but I'm learning and I'm growing. But I think that's the hardest part is not being, letting your emotions get a hold of other people's decisions.
Facts, facts.
Mhm.
What do you feel it has been your greatest accomplishment in the last 3 years?
Just the greatest accomplishment is I am really grateful that I created we me and my husband and all of us, we created an environment where people come in and they feel good. I mean, you I don't really see that too often. You don't really go to places or in a workplace where someone comes in there and they are able to change their mood from being not so happy or depressed to now I'm happy, like changing the dynamics. And so I am most proud about the environment that I have created because I saw the vision of what I wanted. And to your point earlier, it starts with the head and it kind of works its way down. And I understood that concept very early, being working at other brokerages,
Mhm.
that one person could change the whole dynamics of the whole organization. It doesn't matter how many people work there. It could be 500 people, but whoever the head is sets the tone. And so for me, I'm grateful that the tone that I have set, in my opinion, is one where people love and can appreciate.
Yes. And I'm saying this firsthand as a person that as soon I've had bad days. I've had days where I was pretty much in tears because of something that has nothing to do with real estate. And I walk into that room or that building and I'm just like, oh, I'm good. Everything's whatever it was is gone now.
Right.
And it's funny because we talked about this, and I hope it's okay that I say it. It's funny how there are certain people, if that environment has brought on a certain caliber of individuals,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny how you were saying earlier that people don't always celebrate each other, but in that environment, everyone does,
Yes. Yes.
and they mean it.
Yes.
It's not a situation where it's like, oh, that person's winning now. You know, I don't want to see them win. No, everybody wants to see everybody else win, and then they want to ask, how is it that you're winning? I want to win too. Can you help me? And people are so open to helping. It doesn't matter who it is, everybody is open to providing some type of assistance. You created that.
Most definitely. It's important to me. Like I came from the era in real estate where it was called eat what you kill mentality. Um,
Absolutely.
so that means like whatever it is that I'm doing that's making me win, I'm keeping it tight-lipped. I'm not sharing with anybody because I don't want anyone else to succeed. And so I'm just going to shut up and keep my opinions to myself and not tell anybody what I'm doing. I'm not going to share any of my successes. And that's the generation that I grew up in real estate back 24 years ago. And so and I understood the concept that there's plenty of business for everybody out there. Your clients are going to want to work with you. Okay.
Right.
And so at the end of the day, as much as I can pour into you to make it so that your clients feel like you are the best agent ever, and then from there they continue to use you, that's a win for me. Like I want to be able to give you that so that you could take your business to a whole nother level. But yeah, a lot of times you don't see that in a lot of different organizations. People just they keep whatever the success is to themselves. They don't want to share. And I just think that that's tragic.
Well, we have, and I'm saying this, I'm putting this out, I'm putting your business out there. On Tuesdays, we have this event called Tabletop Tuesday.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say this? I hope I'm allowed to say this.
You already said it.
Well, I said it. We have this thing called Tabletop Tuesday. And let me tell you why I love Tabletop Tuesdays so much. Because you made it so that all of us can come and share our experiences with each other, so that if somebody is struggling in an area, everybody, so you don't just have you and your broker, you don't
Right.
just have you and your mentor, you have you, your mentor, your coach, your this, your that, all these people around a huge table saying, well, mate, I've tried this, have you tried this? So now you don't just have one way of doing something, you don't have two, you have 20.
Correct.
And it's so magical and impactful that there's so many people that just want to see everybody win.
Yes.
I appreciate that. And I wish more people did that. Now, going back to the original question, having a healthy home work life balance, do work and life, can they coexist?
Yes, most definitely. So when I'm at my best at work, I'm at my best at home. Like
What does your you time look like?
my you time looks like there's a corner on the couch. My you time is sitting there on the couch, whether it be letting the TV watch me,
Mm-hmm.
reading on my book on my phone, because I use like what, Amazon, not Amazon, but with Kindle,
Mm-hmm.
so I could read and things like that. So there's a part on that couch where I just want quiet time. My kids are grown now, so that's the beauty of it too, that they're grown, they're independent. I raised them that way. Well, me and my husband, we raised them that way, so they could be independent. So right now I have a lot of me time, and I'm trying to take the time now to fill it with things that I enjoy outside of being a broker, a realtor, and an owner, and a mom. Try to fill that time with other things, and it's very, very hard because I eat, sleep, and breathe real estate. I eat, sleep, and breathe being a mom. And so, what are the things that I enjoy outside of that? So I'm in a weird place where I'm trying to find other things to fill that time. So I do have a lot of downtime in that instance, but I just try to do things to either, broaden my mind as far as reading, but then guess what I'm reading?
Real estate book.
So right now I'm just, I'm trying to find some other things that I can do that really just take my focus away from those things. And even if it's just something that is meaningless, just find something to do outside of that. So I'm at that place in my life, but you know what, to your point, like, I feel like, when people think of the broker and what that entails, their perspective is that broker is so busy with agents and problems and da 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 da, and that's what I thought. I thought I was going to be inundated with agent problems, issues, and things like that. But however, this is what I've learned: when you have tabletop, when you have training, when you have people in place, and you're consistently pouring into them and teaching them the right way to do certain things, I get less phone calls with problems. I don't have the problems, and I remember other places I worked at, there was problems after problems after problems that broker had to deal with. But for me, if you do the extensive training up front, and get them with a coach and a mentor and things like that, they pretty much learn a lot in 1 year. They transition from a green agent to, very knowledgeable agent, because we pour into them. So that's the lesson, like, pour into them as much as you possibly can. And therefore, when I do have downtime, I'm not inundated with problems and issues. And so I kudos to me, because I don't really have those problems, knock on wood. And so we just do a lot of the training up front to alleviate issues on the backside.
I can attest to that. That was my experience, because I've been to other places, and I can definitely say that I'm home.
Yeah. Yes.
So if you were talking to someone who was brand new realtor, brand new mom, brand new at everything, and they're just trying to figure it out, what would you say?
I will say that they definitely have to devote the time that it takes. Don't give up, because this industry could be very, very, brutal at times. Take the time that you can when you can, and make sure that you focus and grind and learn as much as you could learn, and implement as much as you could implement, and just soak it all in. The issue is if you get distracted, if you're not focused, you're not really looking at the goal, really understanding what your why is. Why are you doing this? You let other things come into play. So, as a new agent, a mom kind of struggling, you just have to do what you can do when you can do it, and be very purposeful on the time that you have allotted, because you could be successful. I had a partner who, she was a mom, but what she did was she had from 8 to 2, because her kids were in pre-K. From 8 to 2, that's all she had to devote to real estate. But during that time, she accomplished so much more than anyone that had time from 8 to 10 o'clock at night. She accomplished more in that short period of time, because she was very intentional with her time. And so I would just say that whatever time you have, you need to maximize it as much as you possibly can.
Definitely maximize the time. I would say I would agree with you on that one. For a person who is looking to start their own business. So and again, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be real estate, but for a person who's looking to start their own business, who needs to understand how important a healthy home work life balance is, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to do their research, look for the signs, the confirmations, plan as much as you possibly can, and give it your all. Give it your all. At the end of the day, you can make anything work as long as you have the passion and you're determined to see it through. So, they just need to do a lot of the research up front and make sure that this is what they want to do. Make sure that they understand the processes, and make sure they have people in place to come in and assist them. Like I said, where they're weak, because you can't do it on your own. So I would say that, definitely do the upfront research and make sure that this is what you want to do, and, be devoted.
What did the signs look like to you, though? You brought the signs up multiple times, so I want to know, what did those signs look like to you?
Oh, just like signs, like I would see something like on a wall or whatever that had visionaries in it, or like numbers, just different things in the atmosphere that would tell me, oh, you know what, Charissa, this is you're doing the right thing. You're moving in the right direction. It's just haphazard stuff.
Okay, so for those of you who are watching, when she says visionaries, the name of the company is Realty One Group Visionaries.
Yes.
So as it relates to visionaries, did you always know that, or once you decided, you know what, this is it, I'm going to start my own brokerage, did you then say, okay, visionaries, that's the name?
It took me about 60 days to come up with that.
Okay.
And I'm the type of person that I'm gonna give it some time to really, go back and forth, and feel it. It has to kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks. But I kind of went back, forth with certain names, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm not really feeling that. But then when I saw visionaries, and then also we pretty much opened the doors in 2020. Technically, we did a soft opening on 1/1/21, but I signed in on 2020. And so I thought that was good. It kind of, like I said, the signs, visionaries, 2020 vision, type of thing. So I was like, okay, you know what? That ties in. It's my season. It's my time. And so that kind of like, once I was able to put that together, I said, okay, that's it. It's visionaries, and there's no turning back at that point.
The funny part about that is 2020, everybody would probably think, oh my gosh, that's the worst time to have started a business.
Yes.
That was the best time for you to have started a real estate company, period. Like,
what, hindsight, yes. Hindsight, it was the best time. And I'm grateful that I didn't allow, COVID and all these issues that were going on at the time to deter me, because I honestly believe that if it wasn't for COVID, we may not be in the building that we're in. There's a lot of things that probably would not have happened had we not gone through that time. So I'm just grateful that I listened to the signs. And I said, you know what? The signs are there. I don't care what's going on in the background. I feel like it's the time. So we're going to move forward. And I'm not going to allow that to deter me from moving forward. And I'm glad that I did, because I could have said, no, it's just not the right time. Let's just wait. Like some of y'all buyers are doing right now. Let me put that in there. I'm going to wait. You're going to wait until it's too late. But anyway, I digress. And so I'm glad that I moved forward at that time, because, yeah, I think that things would be totally different if it was not the case.
So a few things that I gathered from what you've said thus far. And if you wanting to be successful, just in general, homework, having a healthy homework-life balance, you have to be passionate and you have to give it 110%.
Yes.
You have to have a healthy support system.
Yes. You
need to do your research when you're ready to start your own company, whenever you're ready to do whatever it is, start something new. Make sure you do your research to know that that's the direction you really want to go in.
Yes.
And pay attention to the signs.
Pay attention to the signs.
I love it. I want to talk about your passion completely outside of real estate and business ownership. Child. Over the last few days, and I said the last few days, over the last few months, you have been killing it, raising money, practicing dancing, learning how to uh, mouth your words properly,
Yeah, lip sync. Yes.
learning how to properly lip sync um, for an event called Fake It to Make It.
Yes.
So tell me what it is and how that experience was.
Okay, so Fake It Till You Make It is an event that a company called Safe Homes, or organization called Safe Homes of Augusta, puts on every year. And I believe this is like the seventh or eighth year that they've done this. And so the purpose of this event, called the Lip Sync Challenge, is to raise money for not only women and children, but men and children that have been in domestic violence situations. And so, if they're a victim of domestic violence, this money is raised so that they are able to seek the shelter and the help that they need in order to escape their abuser. And so, I heard about this organization, and I was really, really blown away at how much money is raised and how much the community gets behind this event. And so I just definitely wanted to be a part of that.
I think that what you did was amazing. You killed it as Missy Elliott. Unfortunately, I wish I could show some videos, but I will tell people where they can actually go to see those. So, just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow her on her IG page, Jones Group Making It Rain. Okay, Charissa Jones on Facebook. Also, you can go to Realty ROG Visionaries on IG, and her YouTube page, Realty One Group Visionaries. So make sure that you're going to all of her pages. Make sure that you're liking, sharing, subscribing to her channels, and showing her as much love as possible. Now, you raised a lot of money. You did a lot of dancing.
Hold on. We raised a lot of money because, for those that don't know, April was in the performance with me as well. So
we did, and listen, it was magical. All I can say is it was magical.
yes.
And I thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to that, because you do a lot, so television.
Yes.
You're on TV at least once once a week now?
No, 2 times a month. Yeah, 2 times a month. So I actually do 2 segments. One segment with Anna Christina on Living Local, and that's played on Saturdays. I don't know the time, 9:30, I believe. And then also the Dish Network, I do a cooking show with her once a month as well. So and that.
Tell me about this cooking show. What are you doing on the cooking show, bro?
So I decided to go on the cooking show because I enjoy cooking. When my kids were younger, I cooked a lot more than I cook now. And then when COVID hit, that's what I was doing online. I would do a cooking show online to pass the time away, and so I enjoyed doing that. And so I spoke to Anna Christina, and she put me on the show. And what I'm really doing is just showcasing how you could make really quick meals in a short period of time, because we're busy realtors, because we're brokers, and we're owners. We don't have a lot of time. And guess what? Eating fast food is just not the way to go. So how can you make a healthy meal in under 30 minutes? And so that's what I'm doing on there, just for fun.
The reason that I wanted to bring these things up is not only that people need to watch them because all of the information is so impactful. And again, I need to make sure people know this. This woman is amazing, but everything that she's doing also shows that she has a healthy home work life balance. You're doing fun things. You're doing things that don't just that aren't just real estate.
Right.
And I say just because I hate when people use just real estate, but you're not just doing real estate. You're more than just real estate.
Right.
And so, for that woman on the go, for that woman who's saying, I want to do this. I want to live a healthy life. I want to enjoy my life. I want to work, but I want to own my own business,
Mhm.
right? I
Yes.
still want to raise my family. I still want to be a great wife. And for the guys out there, I still want to be a great husband. You can do all of those things and enjoy every ounce of your life. You just have to make sure that you're taking the necessary steps. And again, be passionate, have a healthy support system. If you're not married, you can still have a healthy support system.
Most definitely.
um, do your research. Make sure that you pay attention to all of the things that you need to pay attention to in order to get the information that you need to get, and follow those signs, because those signs are real.
They are so real.
So what would you what how would you want to leave the guests that are watching us? How would you
I,
what
I
would
just
you want
think
to leave
I
them with?
just think at the end of the day, no matter what it is you do, what can you do to enhance your life? Because at the end of the day, when I think about the how grateful I am and the satisfaction I get from going to work and helping agents, that just spills over into my personal life. So when I come home, I'm happy, I'm grateful. So overall, I just try to live that way, so no matter what it is you do, whether you own your own business, or if you work from 9 to 5, I mean, make it your own, enhance what you do at your job, and so that when you leave that job and you know that you've done an excellent job and that you've contributed, and that when you go home, you have no choice but to bring that home with you. Now the problem is when you are not happy, or you're not giving it your all, or you're not doing what it is that gives you a purpose, then unfortunately you go home, and that spills over into your life. So at the end of the day, overall, what do you need to do to enhance your life?
You,
um,
can I add to that, because you and I talked about this many times. I have quit real estate multiple times.
yes, you have.
I have. And here's the funny part. I never quit when I go into that office.
Right.
It's funny that whenever I go into that office, if I've quit, I walk into that office and I'm like, okay, I was just playing.
Yeah. Because, I think, and this is important for us to say, there was a time where friends and families would say, why you get so frustrated with real estate? All you do is show houses all day. Like, there is so many layers to real estate that it's not even funny. And so when you say that you've quit several times, yeah, I've quit several times too. But not technically quit,
No.
but just have quit because
Yeah.
it could be very taxing on you, and stuff. So just putting that out there, that whatever you think, if you've never been in real estate, you don't know
You
what
do
is
not know.
what
You
is it.
think you know.
Yeah, you think but you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Bro, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for talking to my viewers. I appreciate you in more ways than you could possibly imagine.
I appreciate you too.
But one thing that I will ask is that you continue shining the way that you do, because what you do impacts so many. And now we're over 100 agents.
Yes, we're at 100 agents. Yeah, a little over 100 agents now. And continuing to grow, and at the end of the day, at this point, I'm looking for great agents that fit into our culture, who bring the same philosophy and the same work ethics that we do, want to share, make sure you don't have that eat what you kill mentality. That's that's what we're looking for. So we're gonna keep doing what we do, and hopefully we end up like, what is it, type of agents that we're looking for, because they're out there.
They are definitely out there, and I'm grateful to be a part of this amazing company. Thank you so much, and don't go anywhere. Y'all be beautiful, be blessed, and we will see you actually in next month. Y'all, bye.
Bye.